Dr. Maya Collins pressed her face against the small window of the research ship. The planet below looked like a jewel spinning in space. Purple mountains rose from orange deserts, and strange blue forests covered the valleys. This was Zarian 7, a world that no human had ever walked on before. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Captain Jake Morrison said as he walked up behind her. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor. "But remember, Maya, we're here to study plants and rocks. Nothing more." Maya nodded, but her eyes stayed on the planet. She was a scientist who studied alien life forms. Every new world made her heart beat faster. What creatures lived down there? What secrets did they hold? The ship landed with a gentle bump. Maya grabbed her equipment bag and headed for the exit. The air on Zarian 7 was thick and smelled like flowers mixed with something sharp. Strange sounds came from the forest nearby. Chirps, howls, and roars that made her skin tingle. "Stay." Close to the ship, Jake called after her. "We don't know what's out there." Maya walked slowly through the orange grass. Her scanner beeped as it recorded new plant types. Everything here was different from Earth. The trees had silver bark that seemed to glow. The flowers changed colors. As she watched, this place was like a dream. She had been walking for an hour when she heard it. A low, painful sound that made her stop. It came from behind a cluster of rocks. Maya knew she should go back to the ship, but something pulled her forward. The sound came again, weaker this time. Behind the rocks, she found something that made her gasp. It was huge, like a tiger, but twice as big. Its fur was not normal fur at all. It looked like crystal that shifted from blue to purple to gold as she watched. Long teeth curved down from its mouth like sabers. Blood covered its side, where something had torn through the crystal fur. The creature's eyes opened when it heard her. They were deep yellow, like tiny suns. Maya expected it to growl or attack, but it just looked at her. There was something in those eyes that she had never seen in any animal before. It looked sad and tired, and very, very smart. "Oh, you poor thing," Maya whispered. She knew she should run, but her feet wouldn't move. The creature was clearly dying. Blood still flowed from its wounds. Its breathing was quick and shallow. Maya pulled out her medical scanner. The device showed massive internal bleeding and several broken bones. Without help, the creature would die within hours. She looked at its face again. Those intelligent eyes watched her every move. "Maya!" Jake's voice came from far away. "Maya, where are you?" She should call back. She should tell him about the creature. But something made her stay quiet. Instead, she knelt down next to the wounded animal. It was so big that its head was level with hers, even lying down. "I'm going to help you," she said softly. "Don't be afraid." The creature's eyes never left her face as she worked. She cleaned the wounds and gave it medicine for pain. The animal never tried to bite or scratch her. It just watched and waited, as if it knew she was trying to help. By the time Jake found her, Maya had stopped most of the bleeding. The creature was unconscious, but still breathing. "Maya, what the hell are you doing?" Jake stared at the massive predator with wide eyes. "Get away from that thing. It's hurt," Maya said. "It needs help. It needs to die before it kills us all." Jake pulled out his weapon. "Those are the apex predators that wiped out the last research team on this planet. They're the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy." "This one isn't dangerous," Maya said, moving between Jake and the creature. "Look at it. It's just hurt and scared." Jake shook his head. "Maya, you're a brilliant scientist, but you're being stupid. That thing would rip you apart if it could move. Then why didn't it hurt me when I was treating its wounds?" Maya asked. Jake didn't have an answer for that. He looked at the creature again. It was still unconscious, but somehow it seemed less threatening now. Maybe it was the way it was lying there, or maybe it was the peaceful look on its face. "We need to get it to the ship," Maya said. "I can't treat it properly here." "Absolutely not," Jake said. "I'm not bringing a killer onto my ship. Jake, please. Just look at it. Really look." Jake stared at the creature for a long moment. Its crystal fur caught the light from the alien sun, making it look almost beautiful. He had never seen anything like it. Against his better judgment, he found himself nodding. "If that thing hurts anyone on my ship, it's your responsibility," he said. Maya smiled. "It won't hurt anyone. I promise." They used the ship's transport beam to move the creature to the medical bay. Maya worked on it for hours, repairing damaged organs and setting broken bones. The creature slept through it all, but sometimes its eyes would open and look at her. Each time, Maya felt a strange connection, like the animal was trying to tell her something. When Commander Zaravex arrived on her ship the next day, she was not happy to learn what the humans had done. Her alien face turned dark blue with anger. "You brought a Shadowclaw onto your ship?" she demanded. "Are you insane?" Maya had never heard that name before. "A what?" "The most dangerous predator in the galaxy," Zara said. "Entire civilizations have fallen trying to contain just one. They cannot be tamed, cannot be controlled, and cannot be trusted. You must kill it immediately." "No," Maya said firmly. "I won't kill an injured animal." "Then you will doom us all," Zara replied. 3 weeks had passed since Maya brought the creature aboard. She had named it Titan, and it had healed faster than anyone expected. The Shadowclaw now lived in the cargo bay, which Jake had converted into a makeshift habitat. But Titan was not like other animals Maya had studied. When Maya entered the cargo bay each morning, Titan would stand up and walk to her. Not running, not hunting, just walking calmly like a house cat greeting its owner. The creature's crystal fur would shift to warm gold colors when it saw her, and its eyes would soften. "Good morning, Titan," Maya would say, and the creature would make a low rumbling sound that was almost like a cat's purr. If cats were the size of horses, Dr. Ben Carter watched these interactions with growing fascination. He was the ship's expert on animal behavior, and everything about Titan confused him. According to every book he had read, apex predators were supposed to be wild, aggressive, and impossible to control. But Titan acted more like a pet than a monster. "Look at this," Ben said to Maya one morning, showing her his tablet. "I've been recording Titan's behavior for 2 weeks. Watch what happens when you're stressed." The video showed Maya working late one night, clearly tired and worried about some research data. In the background, Titan was lying down, but its fur was shifting to darker colors. When Maya sighed and put her head in her hands, Titan got up and walked over to her. The creature gently nudged her shoulder with its massive head. "It's reading your emotions," Ben said with excitement. "Somehow, it knows when you're upset and tries to comfort you." Maya smiled. "Titan is very smart, much smarter than people think." "But how smart?" Ben asked. "I've seen it respond to your hand signals. Yesterday, when you pointed at the food container, it brought it to you." "Maybe it's just trained," Maya said, though she didn't really believe that. Titan seemed to understand things that went beyond simple training. Other crew members were not so sure about the creature. Lisa Park, the ship's engineer, refused to enter the cargo bay. "That thing looks at me like it's planning something," she said. "Its eyes follow me everywhere." When anyone except Maya approached Titan, the creature would stand up and bare its saber teeth. Its fur would turn dark red, and it would make a sound like distant thunder. But it never attacked. It would just stand there, warning people to stay away. "It's protecting its territory," Jake said during one of their daily meetings. "Or maybe it's protecting Maya. I can't decide which is more disturbing." Commander Zara visited the ship every few days, each time demanding that they kill Titan. "You are playing with fire," she told Maya. "Shadow claws are not pets. They are weapons of destruction. Then why hasn't it destroyed anything?" Maya asked. Zara had no answer for that. The real test came on a Tuesday morning. Maya was in the lab when alarms started blaring throughout the ship. Red lights flashed, and Jake's voice came over the speakers. "We're under attack. Pirates have boarded the ship. All crew members get to the safe room immediately." Maya's blood turned cold. Space pirates were ruthless killers who took what they wanted and left no witnesses. She grabbed her emergency kit and ran toward the safe room, but she had to pass through the cargo bay to get there. When she entered the cargo bay, she found Titan pacing back and forth. The creature's fur was pure black now, and its eyes glowed like fire. It looked at Maya and made a questioning sound. Maya could hear the pirates moving through the ship. They were shouting orders and breaking things. Soon they would reach the cargo bay. Maya looked at Titan, and an idea came to her. It was crazy, but she was out of options. She raised her hand and made a gesture she had seen in old military movies. She pointed at the cargo bay door and then made a cutting motion across her throat. It was a signal that meant, "Eliminate the threat." Titan's eyes widened, and it tilted its head like a dog trying to understand a command. Then it nodded. Actually, nodded like it understood exactly what Maya was asking. The cargo bay door opened, and 3 pirates rushed in. They were armed with energy weapons and looked ready to kill anyone they found. When they saw Titan, they froze. "What the hell is that thing?" One of them shouted. Titan moved like liquid lightning. It leaped over Maya and landed behind the pirates. They spun around, firing their weapons, but Titan was already moving again. The creature struck the first pirate with its paw, sending him flying into the wall. The man hit hard and didn't get up, but he was still breathing. The second pirate tried to run, but Titan was faster. It pounced on him, pinning him to the floor. The man screamed, expecting to be eaten alive. Instead, Titan just held him down until he stopped struggling. The third pirate dropped his weapon and raised his hands. "Don't kill me," he begged. Titan looked at Maya, waiting for another command. Maya made a gesture that meant stop, and Titan immediately stepped back. The creature had disabled all 3 pirates without killing any of them. Jake arrived a few minutes later with the ship's security team. He stared at the unconscious pirates and then at Titan, who was now sitting calmly. Aside Maya, "Did it double quotes?" Jake started to ask. "Titan stopped them," Maya said. "It knew exactly what I needed it to do." Ben was studying the security footage later that day. "This is incredible," he said. "Look at how Titan moves. It's not just hunting. It's thinking tactically. It separated the pirates, used the environment to its advantage, and showed restraint when it could have killed them all. It showed moral judgment," Maya said quietly. "It knew the difference between stopping a threat and committing murder." Ben nodded. "That's not supposed to be possible. Apex predators don't have morals. They don't make ethical decisions. They just kill." "Maybe we've been wrong about apex predators," Maya said. "Maybe we've been wrong about a lot of things." Word of the incident spread quickly through the ship. Some crew members were amazed by Titan's intelligence and control. Others were terrified by what they had witnessed. If one creature could take down 3 armed pirates so easily, what could it do if it ever turned against them? Commander Zara was furious when she heard the news. "You used a shadow claw as a weapon," she accused Maya. "You turned it into a tool for violence." "I asked it to protect us," Maya replied. "And it did, without killing anyone." If Titan was really just a mindless killer, those pirates would be dead. "You don't understand," Zara said. What you've done will change everything. If other humans learn that shadow claws can be controlled, they'll try to catch them. They'll try to use them. The galaxy will never be safe again. Maya looked at Titan, who was lying peacefully in the corner of the cargo bay. The creature's fur was a soft blue color now, and its eyes were calm. It didn't look like a weapon. It looked like a friend. Maybe the galaxy has been living in fear for too long, Maya said. Maybe it's time to try understanding instead of fighting. But she could see the worry in Zara's eyes. The commander was afraid of something bigger than just one creature. She was afraid of what humans might do with this knowledge. And maybe, Maya thought, she was right to be afraid. The news traveled fast through the galaxy. Within a week, every major news station was talking about the human who had tamed a shadow claw. Some called Maya a hero. Others called her a fool who would doom them all. But everyone was talking. Maya tried to ignore the attention, but it was impossible. Her communication device buzzed constantly with interview requests, death threats, and messages from other scientists who wanted to study Titan. She turned off the device and focused on her work. The Zarian High Council has called an emergency meeting, Commander Zara announced during their daily briefing. Her blue skin was darker than usual, which meant she was stressed. They're sending a battle fleet to intercept us. Jake leaned back in his chair. A battle fleet? Just for one creature? You don't understand, Zara said. The Council believes that humans have found a way to weaponize shadow claws. They think you're planning to conquer the galaxy. That's ridiculous, Maya said. I'm just trying to understand Titan. But understanding leads to control, Zara replied. And control leads to power. The Council has decided that the human species is too dangerous to be allowed to continue this research. Ben looked up from his tablet. So what are they going to do? Kill us all? If necessary, Zara said quietly. The room went silent. Maya felt sick to her stomach. She had never wanted to hurt anyone. She just wanted to help a wounded animal. Now, because of her actions, her entire species might be in danger. There has to be another way, Maya said. We need to show them that Titan isn't a weapon. We need to prove that we're not trying to conquer anyone. How? Jake asked. They've already made up their minds. Maya stood up. By finding the truth. There's something about this that doesn't make sense. Why are they so afraid of one creature? Why do they call them shadow claws instead of their real name? What aren't they telling us? Lieutenant Alex Turner, the ship's archaeologist, had been quiet during the meeting. Now he spoke up. I might have found something. There's an old moon orbiting Zirion 7. My scans show ruins on the surface. Ancient ruins. How ancient? Maya asked. Maybe thousands of years old. The architecture doesn't match any known civilization. I think we should investigate. Jake shook his head. We don't have time for archaeology. We have a battle fleet coming. For us, the ruins might have answers, Alex said. If we're going to die anyway, shouldn't we at least try to understand why? Maya looked at Titan, who was lying peacefully in the corner of the briefing room. The creature had started following her everywhere, and Jake had given up trying to keep it in the cargo bay. Titan's presence actually calmed Maya during stressful moments like this. Alex is right, she said. We need to know the truth. 2 days later, they landed on the moon. The ruins were incredible. Massive stone buildings rose from the gray landscape, covered in symbols that no one could read. But it was the murals that made Maya gasp. The walls were covered in painted scenes of humans and creatures living together. Not just any creatures, but apex predators from dozens of different worlds. There were beings that looked like Titan, but also giant birds with razor wings, serpents the size of trains, and wolves with metal fangs. This is impossible, Ben whispered. These paintings show humans working with apex predators. But humans have only been in space for a few hundred years. These ruins are ancient. Alex was studying the symbols below the murals. I'm running them through the translation computer. Some of these symbols are similar to Earth languages, but very old ones. The computer beeped, and text appeared on Alex's screen. He read it out loud. The bonded ones came from the third world of the Yellow Star. They spoke to the great hunters as equals. Together, they brought peace to the void. The third world of the Yellow Star, Maya said. That's Earth. But that's impossible, Ben said. Humans couldn't have been here thousands of years ago. Alex pointed to another section of writing. This talks about the great fear that came after the bonded ones disappeared. It says the other races convinced each other that the great hunters, or monsters who couldn't be reasoned with. Maya studied the murals more carefully. In one painting, a human woman stood beside a creature that looked exactly like Titan. They were both looking up at the stars, as if they were exploring together. In another, humans and apex predators were working together to build something that looked like a space station. They weren't pets, Maya said quietly. They were partners. The council has been lying to us, Zara said. She had been quiet since. They arrived at the ruins, but now her voice was angry. My people have been teaching for generations that apex predators are mindless killers. But these paintings show something completely different. Alex found another section of text. This one talks about the genetic gift. It says humans have a special ability to form bonds with apex predators. Something in their brain chemistry that other species don't have. So it's not just me, Maya said. Any human could do what I did with Titan. The council knows this. Zara said. Her skin was turning darker blue as she got angrier. They've been hiding the truth to maintain their power. If humans can bond with apex predators, then the balance of power in the galaxy changes completely. Ben was taking pictures of everything. We need to document all of this. If the council is lying, then people have a right to know the truth. They spent hours in the ruins, learning about a time when humans and apex predators worked together to explore the galaxy. But that time had ended when humans mysteriously disappeared from space. The other races, afraid of what they had seen, began spreading stories about the danger of apex predators. They made them into monsters, Maya said. They convinced everyone that creatures like Titan were too dangerous to live near. But the truth is, they were afraid of what humans and apex predators could accomplish together. When they returned to the ship, Maya found Titan waiting for her. The creature's fur was a worried purple color, and it made soft sounds as it rubbed against her leg. Somehow, it knew she was upset. It's okay, Titan, Maya said, scratching behind its ears. We're going to fix this. We're going to tell everyone the truth. But first, they had to survive the battle fleet that was coming for them. And Maya had an idea about how to do that. It was risky, and it might not work, but it was their only chance. She gathered the crew in the main briefing room. Titan lay beside her chair, its yellow eyes watching everyone carefully. I want to contact other human ships, Maya said. Research stations, colony ships, exploration vessels. I want to tell them what we've learned. What good will that do? Jake asked. If I'm right, then any human can bond with an apex predator, Maya said. And if that's true, then we're not alone in this. There are probably other humans out there who have already made friends with creatures like Titan. You want to start a revolution, Zara said. I want to start a conversation, Maya replied. The galaxy has been living in fear for too long. It's time to try something different. She looked at Titan, who was watching her with those intelligent eyes. The creature understood more than anyone realized. It knew that something big was about to happen. The council is sending a fleet to destroy us, Maya said. But what if we show them that we're not their enemy? What if we prove that humans and apex predators can be a force for good in the galaxy? How? Ben asked. Maya smiled. By doing what humans do best. By making friends with creatures that everyone else fears. The battle fleet was still 3 days away. 3 days to change the galaxy's mind about apex predators. 3 days to prove that fear and understanding couldn't exist in the same place. Maya looked at Titan one more time. The creature's fur was shifting to a determined gold color, and its eyes were bright with intelligence. It was ready for whatever came next. Let's make some history, Maya said. Maya's hands shook as she sent the message to every human ship in the galaxy. The communication went out on all frequencies, reaching research stations, colony ships, and exploration vessels scattered across hundreds of worlds. This is Dr. Maya. Collins aboard the research vessel Horizon's Edge, she said into the recorder. I'm sending you evidence that will change everything we thought we knew about apex predators. These creatures aren't mindless killers. They're intelligent beings capable of forming bonds with humans. I'm asking you to try something that might sound crazy, but could save all our lives. She explained about Titan, about the ruins, and about the lies the galaxy had been telling itself for thousands of years. Then she made her request. If you encounter an apex predator, don't run, don't fight, try to communicate, try to understand. We have a gift that other species don't have, and it's time we used it. The response was faster than Maya had expected. Within hours, messages started coming back. Dr. Kate Wilson, from the mining colony on Belarus 3, sent a video that made everyone on the bridge gasp. Maya, you're not going to believe this, Kate said in her message. We've had problems with Crystal. Wolves attacking our equipment for months. After getting your message, I went out to talk to them instead of shooting them. Look what happened. The video showed Kate sitting on the ground next to a wolf the size of a small car. The creature's fur was made of living crystal, just like Titan's, but it was pure white instead of multicolored. The wolf was gently licking Kate's hand while she scratched behind its ears. His name is Frost, Kate said. He's been trying to protect his pack's territory from our mining equipment. Once I understood what he wanted, we worked out a deal. We mine in the morning, his pack hunts in the afternoon. No more attacks, no more problems. More messages came in. Captain David Hayes from the exploration ship Wanderer sent footage of himself working alongside a creature that looked like a giant bird with metal feathers. The bird could fly through space without a suit, and it had been helping the crew map asteroid fields. We call her Star, David said. She's been following our ship for weeks. We thought she was hunting us, but she was actually trying to help. She knows this sector better than our computers do. From the agricultural colony on New Texas, Dr. Lisa Park sent a video of farmers working with creatures that looked like armored bears. The bears helped plant crops and protected the farms from smaller predators. They're incredible, Lisa said. They understand farming better than some of our human workers. They know which plants need water, which ones are sick, and when it's time to harvest. It's like they can feel the life in the soil. Ben was documenting everything. Maya, this is amazing. In just 2 days, we've had over 50 confirmed cases of successful human apex predator bonds. It's happening everywhere. But not everyone was happy about the news. Commander Zara received angry messages from the Zarian High Council. They were furious that humans were corrupting apex predators across the galaxy. They're calling it an invasion, Zara said. They think humans are building an army of monsters. We're building partnerships, Maya replied. There's a difference. The Zarian battle fleet was now only 1 day away. Maya could see it on the long-range sensors. 20 ships armed with enough weapons to destroy a planet. They were coming to stop what they saw as a threat to galactic peace that Maya spent the day preparing for, what she hoped would be the most important demonstration in human history. She worked with Ben to set up cameras and recording equipment. Everything they did in the next few hours would be broadcast to every ship in the galaxy. Are you sure about this? Jake asked. If it goes wrong, we're all dead. If we don't try, we're dead anyway, Maya said. At least this way, we die trying to make things better. Titan seemed to understand that something important was happening. The creature stayed close to Maya all day, its fur shifting through calming colors. When she sat down to eat, Titan would lie beside her. When she walked the corridors, Titan would follow a few steps behind. It's protecting you, Ben observed. It knows you're in danger. We're all in danger, Maya said, but maybe we can change that. The Xirian fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Exactly when their sensors predicted. 20 massive ships arranged themselves in attack formation around the small human research vessel. On the main screen, Maya could see the flagship of the fleet. It was 3 times the size of their ship and bristled with weapons. This is Admiral Kex of the Xirian High Council. A voice came over the communication system. Surrender the Shadow Claw immediately, or we will destroy your ship. Maya looked at her crew. They were all afraid, but they were also determined. Even Jake, who had been skeptical from the beginning, was ready to stand with her. This is Dr. Maya Collins, Maya said into the communicator. I won't surrender Titan because Titan isn't my property. Titan is my friend. Shadow Claws cannot be friends, Admiral Kex replied. They are weapons of destruction. We will give you 1 hour to comply. Maya stood up from her captain's chair. Titan rose with her, its massive form towering over everyone. On the bridge, the creature's fur was a steady gold color now, and its eyes were bright with intelligence. Admiral Kex, Maya said, I'd like to show you something. Something that might change your mind about apex predators. She walked to the center of the bridge, where the cameras could capture everything. Titan followed her, moving with the grace of a dancer, despite its massive size. The galaxy has been afraid of creatures like Titan for thousands of years, Maya said. But fear is just another word for misunderstanding. Let me show you what understanding looks like. She looked at Titan and smiled. The creature tilted its head, waiting for her to speak. Titan, can you open the door to the bridge? Maya asked. The bridge door was designed to be opened by hand controls that required fine motor skills. No animal should have been able to operate it. But Titan walked calmly to the door and used its claws to carefully press the right buttons in the right sequence. The door opened with a soft hiss. Now close it, Maya said. Titan repeated the process, closing the door just as carefully as it had opened it. The galaxy told us that apex predators are mindless killers, Maya said to the camera. But Titan just demonstrated problem-solving skills, fine motor control, and the ability to follow complex instructions. This isn't a monster. This is an intelligent being. She turned to face Titan. Can you show them we're not their enemy? Titan looked at Maya for a long moment, then walked to the communication station. The creature carefully pressed a button that activated the ship's external speakers. Then Titan did something that no one expected. It sang. The sound that came from the creature was like nothing anyone had ever heard. It was deep and beautiful, like a whale song mixed with the sound of wind through crystal caves. The song seemed to tell a story of loneliness and friendship, of fear and understanding. The bridge was completely silent when Titan finished singing. On the main screen, Maya could see the faces of the alien crew members aboard the Xirian flagship. They looked shocked. That was not in any of our reports, Admiral Kex said quietly. Shadowclaws do not sing. Maybe you never gave them a reason to, Maya replied. She walked back to Titan and placed her hand on the creature's massive head. Titan's fur shifted to a warm, peaceful blue color. Admiral Kex, I want you to know that humans are not trying to conquer the galaxy. We're trying to understand it. We're trying to make friends with creatures that everyone else fears. And maybe, if we're lucky, we can learn to fear a little less and understand a little more. The communication channel was quiet for a long time. Maya could see the alien ships on the screen, but no one was firing. No one was attacking. They were all just waiting. Finally, Admiral Keck spoke. Dr. Collins, your demonstration has been ... unexpected. The High Council will need to discuss this new information. Take all the time you need, Maya said. We'll be here, making friends and learning new things. As the alien fleet held position, around their ship, Maya received more messages from human colonies. The news of the demonstration was spreading, and more people were trying to bond with apex predators. Most were successful. It's working, Ben said with excitement. The galaxy is starting to see these creatures differently. Maya looked at Titan, who was now lying peacefully beside her chair. The creature's eyes were closed, but its fur was a contented gold color. We did it, Titan, Maya said softly. We showed them who you really are. Titan opened one eye and looked at her. Then it made a sound that was almost like a cat's purr, if cats were the size of horses and had voices like angels. The galaxy was changing, and it was changing because one human had decided to help a wounded animal instead of running away in fear. But Maya knew this was just the beginning. The real work of building understanding would take time. Fortunately, she had a very good partner to help her do it. 6 months after the demonstration, Maya stood on the observation deck of the Horizon's Edge and watched a sight that still amazed her. 3 human ships were flying in formation with a pack of star whales, creatures the size of buildings that could swim through space itself. The whales were showing the humans safe routes through an asteroid field that had been considered impossible to navigate. The Council wants to make it official, Commander Zara said, joining Maya at the window. They're creating a new department called Interspecies Partnership Relations. They want you to head it. Maya smiled. What about the old stories? The ones about apex predators being monsters? They're rewriting the textbooks, Zara said. It turns out that when you base policy on fear instead of facts, you make a lot of mistakes. The past 6 months had been the most exciting time in Maya's life. The Horizon's Edge had become a traveling research station, visiting worlds where humans and apex predators were learning to work together. Each stop brought new discoveries and new friendships. On the mining world of Rockdale, humans and crystal bears worked together to find precious metals deep underground. The bears could sense ore deposits that human scanners missed, while humans provided the technology to extract the metals safely. On the ocean world of Aquatica, human researchers were learning to communicate with sea creatures that looked like living storms. These beings could control weather patterns and were helping human colonists protect their settlements from dangerous hurricanes. The agricultural colonies were doing better than ever. Creatures that had once been seen as pests were now partners. In farming, giant insects helped pollinate crops, while armored herbivores kept the soil healthy and protected farms from real threats. Dr. Collins, Captain Jake said over the intercom, we're getting a message from Earth. They want to talk to you. Maya made her way to the communications center, with Titan following as always. The creature had grown even more beautiful over the past months. Its crystal fur now shifted through colors that Maya had never seen before, and its eyes held a wisdom that seemed ancient. On the screen, Maya saw Director Sarah Kim, the head of Earth's space exploration program. Maya, what you've accomplished out there is incredible, Sarah said. But we need your help here on Earth. We've discovered something that changes everything. What do you mean? Maya asked. Sarah's expression grew serious. We found them, Maya, the original apex predators that worked with humans thousands of years. Go. They've been hiding on Earth this whole time. Maya felt her heart skip a beat. Where? Deep ocean trenches, underground cave systems, remote mountain ranges, places where humans rarely go, but now they're coming out. It's like they know that it's safe again. The screen changed to show footage from around Earth. In the Amazon rainforest, researchers were working with creatures that looked like living shadows with glowing eyes. In the Arctic, explorers had found ice walls that could walk on water and control freezing temperatures. In the deep ocean, submarines were being guided by serpent-like beings that glowed with their own light. They never left, Maya said in wonder. They've been waiting for us to remember. The governments are scared, Sarah continued. Some people think this is the beginning of the end for human civilization. Others think it's the beginning of something wonderful. We need you to come home and help us figure out which one it is. Maya looked at Titan, who was watching the screen with intense interest. The creature's fur was shifting through excited patterns of gold and silver. What do you think, Titan? Maya asked. Should we go home and meet your Earth cousins? Titan made a sound that was part purr, part song. It was a sound Maya had learned meant yes, absolutely. We'll be there in 2 weeks, Maya told Sarah. The journey to Earth was different from any trip Maya had taken before. Word had spread throughout the galaxy about where they were going and why. Ships from dozens of different species followed. Them wanting to witness the homecoming of the human apex predator partnerships. When they finally arrived at Earth, Maya was amazed by what she saw. The planet looked different from space. There were new lights in places where no cities had been before, and strange shapes moving through the clouds that definitely weren't aircraft. The landing at the space port in New York was unlike anything Maya had ever experienced. Crowds of people had gathered to see Titan, but they weren't afraid. Children held up signs with pictures of apex predators, and scientists from around the world waited with barely contained excitement. When the ship's door opened, Titan stepped out first. The creature's fur was blazing with colors of joy and curiosity, as it saw its first Earth sky in thousands of years. A crowd gasped at its beauty, but no one ran. No one screamed. They just watched in wonder. Maya walked beside Titan through the spaceport, and everywhere they went, people reached out to touch the creature's crystal fur. Titan allowed it, seeming to understand that these humans were family. Dr. Ben Carter, who had stayed with Maya throughout their journey, was documenting everything. Look at how people are reacting, he said. 6 months ago, they would have been terrified. Now they're curious. You've changed the world's mind about apex predators. Their first stop was the Amazon research station, where Dr. Elena Rodriguez was working with the shadow creatures. When Maya and Titan arrived, they found Elena sitting in a clearing surrounded by beings that looked like living darkness with stars for eyes. Maya, Elena called out happily. Come meet the night hunters. They've been telling me stories about the old days, when humans and apex predators explored the galaxy together. One of the shadow creatures approached Titan, and the two beings touched foreheads in what was clearly a greeting between old friends. Their interaction was gentle and full of recognition, as if they were family members meeting after a long separation. They remember, Elena said. All of them remember the partnership. They've been keeping the old stories alive, waiting for the day when humans would be ready to listen again. Over the following weeks, Maya traveled around Earth meeting the apex predators that had been hiding there. Each encounter was magical. The ice walls in Alaska showed her how they could freeze entire lakes in seconds, but also how they used that power to preserve food for other animals during harsh winters. The ocean serpents demonstrated their ability to create underwater currents that helped ships navigate safely through storms. But the most amazing discovery came when Maya visited the underground caverns beneath the Rocky Mountains. There, living in vast crystal chambers, she found creatures that looked like Titan, but were even older and larger. The elders, said Dr. Marcus Stone, who had been studying them for weeks. They're the ones who made the original bond with humans. They've been waiting down here for thousands of years. The eldest of these creatures was magnificent. Its crystal fur contained every color Maya had ever seen, and its eyes held the wisdom of ages. When it spoke, its voice resonated through the caverns like music. "Welcome home, young bonded one," the elder said to Maya. "We have waited long for this day." "You can speak?" Maya said in amazement. "All apex predators can speak," the elder replied. "We simply choose to do so only with those who listen, with understanding rather than fear." The elder explained that apex predators had always been more than just animals. They were guardians, protectors, and partners to any species wise enough to see past their fearsome appearance. Humans had been the first to make this connection, but the partnership had been broken when humans disappeared from space thousands of years ago. "Why did we leave?" Maya asked. "Fear," the elder said sadly. "Other species convinced your ancestors that the partnership was dangerous. They said apex predators would eventually turn on humans and destroy them. Your people believed the lies and abandoned us. But some of you stayed on Earth. We hoped that someday humans would remember who they really were. We hoped they would stop being afraid and start understanding again." The elder looked at Titan with obvious affection. "This young one chose well when it bonded with you. Through your courage, the ancient partnership has been reborn." Maya spent hours talking with the elder, learning about the true history of human apex predator relationships. She discovered that the partnerships weren't just about friendship or even cooperation. They were about evolution itself. When humans and apex predators work together, both species become more than they could be alone, the elder explained. Humans become braver, more intuitive, more connected to the natural world. Apex predators become gentler, more thoughtful, more capable of complex reasoning. Together, they represent the best of both worlds. As Maya prepared to leave Earth and return to her work in space, she realized that everything had changed. The galaxy was no longer a place where different species lived in fear of each other. It was becoming a place where understanding and partnership were possible. The spaceport was crowded again when Maya and Titan prepared to depart. But this time, they weren't traveling alone. Dozens of other human apex predator pairs were joining them. Scientists with their shadow companions, explorers with their star whale partners, and farmers with their crystal bear friends. Where to next? Captain Jake asked as they settled into their seats aboard the newly expanded Horizon's Edge. "Everywhere," Maya said, looking out at the stars. "There's a whole galaxy out there full of Kree-2.